Hi guys, welcome to MELS, Media Education Learning Simpler, where we sail through all your academic worries from the field of media and communications. Let us proceed with today's discussion. Hi, today we are talking about media research, and the topic that we are discussing is research ethics. Ethics is basically distinguishing right from wrong and proper from improper. Though universal definitions of these terms are difficult to find, several generalizations have been endorsed by most in the research profession. These guidelines help make researchers more sensitive to the ethical issues that crop up in the course of a research. Ethical behavior is the right thing to do. The best reason to behave ethically is one's own satisfaction of having a clear conscience. A single experience with an ethically questionable research project may completely alienate an individual. Since media research depends on the continuing goodwill and cooperation of respondents, it is important to shield them from unethical research practices. There are at least 4 relevant ethical principles that a researcher or research student must be aware of. First is the principle of autonomy. Basic to this concept is the demand that the researcher respects the rights, values, and decisions of other people. The reasons for a person's action should be respected, and the actions should not be interfered with. The second ethical principle is of beneficence, which stipulates a positive obligation to remove existing harms and to confer benefits on others. The third principle important to be aware of is non-maleficence, which says it is wrong to intentionally inflict harm on another. A fourth ethical principle, the principle of justice, holds that people who are equal in relevant respects should be treated equally. Researchers Frey, Botan, and Krebs summarize these principles by saying that they should provide the people being studied with free choice, protect their right to privacy, benefit them, not harm them, and treat them with respect. Let us now discuss some important ethical issues and concepts. An individual is entitled to decline to participate in any research project or to terminate participation at any point of time. Participation in any research activity is always voluntary, and coercion is unacceptable. If the researcher is in a position of authority over subjects, like when a teacher hands over questionnaires to university students, he or she should be sensitive to implied coercion. This is known as voluntary participation. Close to the concept of voluntary participation is another one of informed consent. People need to know enough about a research project before making an intelligent choice as to whether they should participate in it or not. Researchers must inform potential respondents all features of the project. Next, we move to concealment and deception. I hope these images would make a lot of it already clear. Yet, concealment is withholding certain information from the subjects, and deception is deliberately providing false information. Both practices raise ethical problems. The difficulty in obtaining consent has already been discussed. A second problem derives from the feeling that it is wrong for experimenters to lie or otherwise deceive subjects. Privacy for research participants means that an individual's right to privacy is imperative in research. Neither the researcher, nor the study design, nor the publication of the study results would ever identify any participant in the study. Many research participants have experienced problems when their privacy was not upheld after participating in the research. Sometimes privacy is not kept because of insufficient study protection, but also sometimes it is because of unanticipated problems with the study design which inadvertently compromise privacy. Researchers are responsible for maintaining professional standards in analyzing and reporting their data. Researchers have an ethical obligation to refrain from tampering with data. Questionnaire responses and experimental observations should not be fabricated. Similarly, researchers are expected to exercise reasonable care in processing the data to guard against needless errors that might affect the results. Another universal ethical principle is that researchers should not plagiarize. The work of someone else should not be reproduced without giving proper credit to the original author. Also, only those individuals who have actually significantly contributed to a research project should be given authorship credit. It is also to be noted that all investigators are under an ethical obligation to draw conclusions from their data that are consistent with those data. Interpretations should not be stretched or distorted to favor a theory or to gain a client's favor. The growing use of the internet as a research medium has made it difficult for researchers to establish ethical principles regarding online research. Online research can involve a wide variety of settings, including websites, emails, chat rooms, instant messages, news groups, and other platforms and means that are not directly addressed in existing ethical guidelines. For starters, researcher needs to ask himself or herself, is the platform open to all? In other words, is it a public or a private space? Does it require registration or a password to post? Does the site have a policy against quoting from its content? Do participants have an expectation of privacy concerning their posts? If yes, then a researcher should obtain the consent of the participants. Ethical considerations in conducting research should not be overlooked. Nearly every research study could affect the subjects in some way, either psychologically or physically. Hence, researchers must ensure that all precautions are taken to avoid any potential harm to subjects and that the final output is free of any ethical compromise. This brings us to an end of the unit of additional topics under media research. Thank you. So that was all for today. I hope you liked this video. Do share it with friends who you think may benefit from this. If you have any doubts or suggestions, do reach out to me in the comment section or on the FB page. Hope to see you soon with the next discussion. Thank you.